Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our Ravaging Hunger playthrough of Oxygen Not Included. Oh man, so much has happened. So much. Where do I even begin? Let's start with, I guess, the water. So we ran out of water here. This is where our old reservoir was, where we were pumping to our bristle blossoms. And our bristle blossoms were offline for quite a while, and the reason was because when I set this guy up here, I had just a small, like maybe 5 radiant liquid pipes here cooling, and it just wasn't enough to cool the water fast enough that to provide these with enough water. Another thing is that I didn't know, because I never grow bristle blossoms or ever use hydroponic farms, is that these things will continue to use the water in the pipes even when they're not growing, so they're essentially wasting water. So I've set up a clock timer that just turns on briefly with a buffer gate that turns on for 54 seconds to allow enough water to flow through to last the entire cycle, and no more than that. And usually I don't have enough water, as you can see here. 50 kilograms in here, and then whatever was in the pipe. That's nowhere near enough water. I need 320 kilograms per cycle per line. So 640 kilograms total per cycle. So quite a lot, and not even close to what I'm producing at the moment. I mean, I have the water. I just can't cool it fast enough at the moment, as you can see. It's just this thermal nullifier plus these 2 Weezeworts is not enough to cool down this water fast enough for my bristle blossom. So I'm gonna have to figure something out for that. I don't know. We do have a little bit of plastic, not anymore being produced. I've overheated and I've disabled this, but I have enough to build like high pressure vents and stuff wherever I need them. Let's go ahead and enable this. Forgot all about this guy. Oh yeah, so the other problem I was having that I didn't notice for about 30 cycles is this steam vent had some hydrogen in here, as you can see. And there's a bug with cool steam vents where if they have gas around them, they'll cause that gas to duplicate itself, basically. So essentially the hydrogen was just duplicating right here, and it overpressured the vent. So the vent was going off, but no steam was actually coming out, or the steam was coming out but getting deleted instantly. So I ran out of water for a little bit. That was scary. I thought I was actually done for because I wasn't able to cook. Well, I wasn't able to get bristle blossom to cook with, so I wasn't making any food. So I actually ran out of food at one point, and I was struggling pretty big. Another thing that happened was for some reason, Nails, which is my cook over here, Nails, even though I have tons of sleet wheat grain in here, I had even more prior to this, but even though I had tons in here, he was like leaving the base all the way down here to grab it, or like all the way up here. He was going to a cold biome to grab sleet wheat, even though I had it right next to the stoves. So I had to say, Nails, you can't leave the base, baby. You got to stay inside and cook all day and all night. So that's kind of a weird priority thing. I don't know if it has to do with like this proximity thing. I don't think it would, because it's supposed to do with in proximity, but maybe because it's in the fridge, it has some kind of effect on that. I don't know. But yeah, he wasn't using the sleet wheat grains in the fridge. He was running them and getting his own from cold biomes. So that was like delaying a lot of things, because instead of cooking, he was running around doing nonsense. So yeah, as you can see, my bristle blossoms are still kind of not having enough water. So I'm just not cooling the water fast enough. I have to figure that out on how to cool them. But basically, I don't know how else to set this up. This is the first time I've ever had to deal with this problem. So I'm actually enjoying this playthrough because I've learned a lot of things that I probably would never have learned in the normal game, because I never deal with these kind of stuffs. But yeah, so if you just create like a loop here with a bridge at the very end, the water will just continuously loop around, and whatever plant needs it will suck it up. So that works. And then again, I just have the clock sensor set to 0.5 active duration, and I have them set opposite, so that gives us the most amount of time to build up enough water for the next guy to go. And it's just 53 to 54 seconds. We'll probably set this guy to 54, and that should give me enough water to suffice for the entire cycle, as long as I have enough water in here, which, as you can see, I have 0 kilograms, and we're barely getting in a little batch over here. It's just not cool. This thing plus the 2 esports just can't cool the water fast enough, man. I don't know how to cool water down like quickly, so maybe I have to pump it through a aqua tuner first. Where's that dude? Utility. 1.2 kilowatts of power, dude. It's so much. Produces quite a bit of heat too. If I remember right, you have to submerge these in water. Cooling factor -14. I'm gonna have to do some testing to see how much this will actually cool like 70-degree water down. Because if I pump it through one of these first, and then into here, maybe that'll help. But that's a lot of power. I'd have to get a second petroleum generator going, which is not bad because I'm not producing plastic right now. This thing actually saved my life right here. This petroleum generator, so good. Oh, I'm actually out of hydrogen. Wait, what? How is this happening? So at one point, 60, that's fine. At one point, I had hydrogen backed all the way up in here because I wasn't using enough. So I made it so the hydrogen generator turns on the same time the petroleum generator turns on, and they both run until the batteries are full. And that way I wasn't getting a hydrogen backup. But now I'm using way too much hydrogen, and I don't really know why. We could pump this hydrogen in, but I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure this cooling stuff out. I've never really had to deal with cooling water for plants, that is. Actually, for anything really. It's just cooling steam down is the only thing I've ever had to do. Just cool steam down till it condensates, and that's it. Oh wow, we got some high temps over here. Maybe I should run a cooling loop through here. Cool down. Nah, I don't think so. We just need to work on this. I think we just need hydrogen over here is the problem. We just ran out of hydrogen. That's why it was so hot. But I still am not producing, I'm not cooling the water fast enough to support these. So I still need to figure that out. But that's an issue for another day, or another video rather. Almost out of oil over here, so we're probably gonna have to put our pump lower. We are working on setting this guy up, so I have an idea for this. As you can see, I've already built kind of the basics. We can actually, what are these made of? Sandstone? Sure. So I went into debug and I tested a few things with this kind of setup. And what I plan to do is I plan to use the oil to heat some steam for a steam turbine, or rather use the steam turbine to cool the oil down just slightly, just a little bit, maybe by like 30 or 40 degrees. And then once it hits that point, we'll drop it down to another cooling chamber down here, which will cool it down further to a manageable point where we can pump it out. But yeah, we're gonna set up a steam turbine right over here, and the way the logic system works, it actually uses a memory toggle. So whenever there's liquid in here, it will reset the toggle, and then whenever we'll have a what is it? It'll be a thermo gas sensor or a thermo liquid sensor on the pipe right under the turbine where it's heating the steam at. And if it stays under like 240 for for like 200 seconds. If it stays under for that long, it basically means there's not enough heat in this pool anymore to heat the steam up. So we'll open the doors at that point. We'll drop the oil down, and then more oil will leak out onto this thing, because we're actually going to wall this side off. Actually, I should have done that, huh? We'll do it later. But yeah, more oil will leak onto this thing, resetting it. Actually, I don't remember. I think I just do as long as it's below 1. So that way when the oil drops, it activates and resets the toggle switch or the memory switch, and then these will close back up and get ready for the next oil batch. I'm sure I'll go over that when I actually build it, but that's kind of the general thing, how it works. Probably very confusing. I don't know. Anyway, that's pretty much all I have time for. We are getting some major oxygen production set up over here. I still need to tap into this geyser. I really could use the power because I have like 0 coal. Well, I used to have 0 coal, but I've been digging a little bit up. We did bring in two more. We brought in 2 more dupes, 2 additional dupes. That is, we do have our stuff up here set up. I don't have a lot of hydrogen actually. Yeah, our Atmo suits up here set up, and we're working on getting some chlorine in here. I've already got the carbon dioxide pump set up, so we're just waiting on more chlorine to kind of settle in here so our food doesn't spoil. But yeah, that's about it. I'm going to be expanding these exosuit docks in the future. We're also going to be trying to get more power. I'd like to get the steam turbine set up and to pop open this oil like ASAP, which I can do. Let me actually start doing this right now. But yeah, we're going to work on getting this set up. That way I have another source of power. Because I'm running on wheels a lot, I think. This guy over here is never backed up. I'm always using that power, and I really don't want to use my coal. I want to use my coal for vitamin chews, because as you can see, my immune systems aren't great, and if I ever have like a huge dip on the immune systems, then I'm going to need them. So that's pretty much everything going forward here. Want to get the turbine set up. We want to finish our main oxygen production over here so we can get rid of this one and possibly the one down lower. I don't know. Let's see. And yeah, we're gonna probably be pumping this water into here very soon, and that's about all. So if you are enjoying this video series, please hit that thumbs up. Leave me a comment if you have any ideas on cooling the water down, because I'm kind of stumped on that one. And hit that subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful day.